Hello, everybody, and welcome to our podcast. Who is our? It is me, Nancy.
And Michelle.
And our podcast is You Think It, You Feel It, We Say It.
We do say it.
We do. Why did we pick that? Because I feel as if sometimes in the world that we live in, people are scared to say what they feel and what they think because they're scared to get judged.
And we get judged very frequently by a lot of people.
Just for being fat as hell. But guess what?
We're best friends, so that makes it worse.
So we might as well get judged for talking about stuff shit that's happening. And we're just going to make one disclaimer, which is going to be in this one podcast. I'm not going to do it every podcast. But our content is explicit. There is cussing words. There is a lot of strong topics that we're going to be speaking about that could be triggering, emotional, draining as hell.
Yeah.
Also, when we do speak about stuff, it's just stuff how we feel, and the topics that we speak about is stuff that we've lived,
and it's personal opinions.
Yes, ma'am. And we also just talk about stuff that we see other people go through, and people just don't speak up. And it's not directed to anybody, just general topics. So don't get your panties in a twist.
In a bunch.
Don't do anything. So our first podcast, which is obviously this one, the topic is
marriage.
But before we get into that, I kind of just want to introduce ourselves just so you guys get a little bit of a background towards us. Miss Michelle, do you want to go first?
So I'm Michelle, obviously. I'm a preschool teacher. Well, we are both preschool teachers. I am a lead
You're talking
teacher.
About yourself, not me, dog.
Exactly, but I'm over here just trying to, because, we work in the same place, but whatever. Anyhow, I am 21 years old. Actually, I'm almost 22 next month. I am married. I'm actually in an age gap relationship, which is very controversial.
Which will be people. We will be getting into that when we get into our topic.
Yeah, we will talk about that a little more briefly than
more in depth.
Yeah, and what else? I'm Honduran, and this lad over here is my best friend, and I wanted to start a podcast just because I feel like we have a whole lot of shit to say. So that's moi.
And my name is Nancy. I am 23 years old, going to be 24 in December. Am I though? And I was married it was going to be 4 years, but now I'm not. So there's that.
Shit happens.
Get the fuck over it. What did I say? I'm 23 years old. I am Salvadorian, so that's great. Honduran and Salvadorians can get along, you guys. Get that through your head.
Not a big deal.
And my best friend gave me the thought of doing a podcast, and I was like, for sure, let's do it. Some of you might know that we have a YouTube channel, separate ones. We had one together, but we did separate things because
that was a fail.
It was. You just can't hang out all the time, and when you do, it's like you're in the moment. You know what I'm saying? And my YouTube, I just don't have time to do shit, and my life is fucking boring. All I do is work, go home, work, go home.
Exactly.
And then I have sometimes we just think of doing shit, but it's like we're having so much fun. Why fucking record it?
Yeah, or sometimes we go out and it's not really worth recording.
Or it is worth to us, but it's just not enough to upload. Because the fun shit that we're supposed to record, we're so into it that we don't record it.
So in conclusion, we have failed at being YouTubers.
We didn't fail. I think we did some pretty damn good videos.
I liked a couple of my videos.
I liked all my fucking videos. They're fucking bomb shit. I think it was just time to do something.
I like your video of the tacos de tinga.
You like those motherfuckers were bomb, bitch. But and that's why we started a podcast, because it's just one weekend we sit together, we record something, and that's it. Esta vaina va a estar largo, though. It's gonna be like an hour. Also, we might think of making one in Spanish for our Latino community, para los que no entienden o hablan inglés.
Y los quieren estar escuchando.
So. Si quieren, va. Nadie le está diciendo que lo hagan, pero...
I mean, come
on. Share the clout. Si quieren, va. So we're thinking of making a Spanish and English one, which actually we might just do because fuck it.
I mean,
why not?
Yeah. We should.
Yeah. So that's us. And why did we pick marriage today, Miss Michelle?
Because I am freshly into the marriage situation.
And I am freshly out of the marriage situation.
That is freaking insane.
Like how we just
flip-flopped. Mm-hmm. I was single and
doing around
everything, you know, hoeing around. And then this bitch was fucking married, and I'm like, best friend, what the fuck?
Yeah, but I mean, shit happens, dog.
Then now it's like the total opposite.
Yeah. And I think we said we were Hispanic.
Yeah. And there's a lot of stereotypes and a lot of things people think we should be doing in a marriage.
That honestly is nobody else's fucking business.
Exactly. Like, why are you butting in our relationship, or in general? Like, why do you have to stereotype everything?
Yeah. And it's like, we're in 2020, guys. Come on now. Equality, dog. Like,
exactly.
Who has time for women to be in the kitchen and the men being working? Like, can't we both work? Can't we both do kitchen stuff? Can't we both do everything? Exactly. Unless you don't dig that and you want to be a stay-at-home wife and you dig that shit, good for you. Kudos to you. Yeah. No one's judging you. Everybody lives different lives. So, like I said, guys, this is our first podcast, so we wrote stuff down.
Yeah, man, like I went all out, put some bullet points and everything, you know, just trying to get everything out.
Yeah, like I said, this is just personal experience and shit that we've seen. The first thing that I see that Miss Michelle has is, are we married yet? We answered that. How long were or have been married? Go ahead.
Well, I've been married for about, it's almost 6 months. So I got married. How long
have you guys known each other, February. Like in general?
About almost 2 years.
2 years that you know each other, and out of those 2 years, 6 months of marriage.
Yeah.
Nice.
Been a little bit of time.
And how was like your timeline? Like you guys dated for how long, and then?
So when I met him, we actually just, you know, was just talking or whatever, just vibing. And then about 6 months into just vibing, we started dating. And then after that, we were just dating for a while. And then he moved in September of last year. Mm-hmm. Obviously, there was ups and downs, and I'm not really afraid to say it, you know. We were on a break before he actually moved in with me.
But it's like every relationship goes through some shit.
And then, he moved in September, and then we got married in February of this year. 2020, and the rest is history, as they say.
And you guys have been together since then.
Yeah, we've been together since then.
And how's marriage life so far?
Like the first year, you know how people say the first year is always harder, or I mean, marriage is always gonna be hard, but the first year is kind of harder, as they say,
because everybody's
everybody's trying to butt in your life. You're still trying to, because it's a difference from from dating someone, living in separate houses, and just seeing them for a chunk of time.
Like you yourself are just trying to get situated with your own marriage without people butting in. Exactly. And then there's people trying to make you be like, oh, well, that's not right. But then it's like,
no, it's right.
You just don't think it's right. Yeah.
But so yeah, it's a period of time where, you know, you're learning how your spouse lives. Mm-hmm. What they do, what little things that you don't like. There's a lot of things I don't like.
You just gotta get used to it.
Yeah, but it's ups and downs. But I mean, so far so good, to be honest.
Yeah. Have you felt like any like people around you have changed since you got married?
Oh yeah. It's sad because when I was single, in my experience, right? No shade, but when I was single, everybody else was married. So I mean, I talk my shit, and my best friend knows because I talk my shit.
We're gonna get into that.
But like, that's because I didn't fully understand the concept of being married. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I
think a big issue that we had when I was married and you were single was that a lot of people, and just not you, just in general, a lot of people don't understand that regardless what anybody says, you have a whole other person to put into consideration with any decision you make. It could be the smallest thing, as in going out or not, you know? And that's where you have to put that into your relationship, and the aspect of why, if you're comfortable with your man telling you what to do, then that's you, or vice versa, your woman telling you what to do. That's, I know I like a mandilon. I like someone to fucking listen to me. I know that for a fact.
See, in my relationship, I feel like it's 50-50. I mean, you know, and you've seen, but like I said, there's just people that switch up on you just because you're married. It's like you're literally locked up in a fucking bathroom, or they're like your man has you locked up in a fucking closet the whole entire day that you can't even walk out the door. Like, no, it's not like that. We're in 2020 where things have changed, and it's like, if you personally dated or were in a marriage with someone that was possessive and did that to you, it doesn't mean that the next couple is the same way. You know what I mean?
It's like people want to
just assume shit.
Yeah, and they're trying to read relationships that, like, fucking read a book. It's like trying to read other people. Read a book. That, you know what I'm saying?
Book. Yeah, it's irritating because at the same time, it's just like you don't know what's going on. You might have seen little glimpse of my relationship, but you don't actually know what's going on.
Exactly.
You don't understand why I do something or why he does something, and it looks weird, especially when my marriage is as open. It's not open. It's not an open marriage, but it's more so like we understand that we need our time to go out with our friends.
Yeah.
So people don't understand that because they're like, why are you out? Where's your husband?
Well, not people, more like Hispanic.
The Hispanic community mostly, right?
They be nosy as fuck, huh?
Where's your husband? Why isn't your husband here? Da da da. And then I'm just like, no, like it's my time to go out with my friends and go have some fun, and I'm with them all the time. Exactly. So it's just like people don't understand that, and if it's not normal, if it's not their normal, it's not a good marriage. Yeah. It's a failed marriage before it even starts. So
I know for my marriage, I know that was a big thing that we struggled with a lot. Mm-hmm. And I'm big on, like, don't try to change me. You know what I'm saying? Like, when we were dating, you knew how I was. And if you didn't like it, then you should have fucking left me. You should have asked me to marry you.
Exactly.
Which he didn't, but
so we should start with you. So you haven't even said how long you were married for and how long you guys were together, but you need to tell us your timeline.
Okay, so we talked for about 2-3 months. Mm-hmm. Then we met and we dated for 4 months. No shit, we dated for I was about to say a whole lot of stuff that I shouldn't.
It's been a while though.
Yeah, and then we dated for a whole year before. No, just kidding. We dated for 4 or 5 months before he moved in. Mm-hmm. So he moved in, and then a couple months after that, so we were already dating for a year and a couple months. Yeah. We got married, and then so if nothing would have happened, this year we would be together 5 years. Since 2015, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Yeah. Damn, fucking dyslexic. Anywho, we would be together for 5 years and married for 4. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, worst fucking 4 years of my life. I'm not even gonna lie.
Come on.
I'm not gonna lie.
I don't think everything was bad. Not everything.
Honestly, like, that's where you know your marriage needs to end, where you can't even remember good things. All you remember is bad things. That's just how you know it. My marriage should have ended years ago, honestly. Not gonna lie, my friends. But, like I was saying, I think we had a lot of issues in my marriage. Like, a lot.
Do you want to touch into some issues?
I mean, you can ask me questions if you like.
I mean, what's one of your issues that you had? Big one.
A really big one was money.
What about money?
I fucking hate his family. I'm not gonna lie, and I don't mean all his family, because his mom, wonderful person. Not even gonna say who the fuck I'm not gonna say who he is. If you know him, you know him. But he used to live with this certain people, and they were just like, ugh. And I'm never scared to say it. You know me more than anybody. I'm poor as shit. Well, not poor, but like
You live comfortably.
I live comfortably. Like, if I have money to spare, I have money to spare. If I don't, then I can't go out. Sorry, unless you want to pay for me. I don't give a fuck. And his family isn't like that. They're more like bougie, trying to be everybody's like one up everybody.
They're just always trying to one up, yeah.
Yeah, and with him, it kind of started off as in like he wanted to be like them, and it was just two different worlds. It was like a telenovela where like the rich man falls in love with the, first of all, well, hold on, the rich man falls in love with the poor girl.
Catch yourself.
Poor girl. And I'm like, rich man where? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then there's just a lot of things economically that was going on, and just here's another thing. What I think a marriage is consisted of is you guys put each other first.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it, you have family around you and you have everything, but once you're married, that's your family.
Exactly.
Like, you two, regardless if you have kids or not, that's your family. That's who you need to worry about. No one else. Like, here you can help them and everything, but if you don't have your shit together at home, how are you going to help someone else?
My thing is, first is your bills and whatever your spouse needs. And then if you have anything left, help. Yeah. You know what I mean? Unless you have a child, fine.
Well, no, your child always comes first.
Exactly. Like, but if you are literally on your last $100 and your cousin calls you, especially in the Hispanic community, I'm just going to put it out there. If they live in our country, they think fucking money grows on fucking trees. I'm sorry to whoever like it hurts their feelings. But
if it does, oh well.
It doesn't. The money does not grow in the fucking trees. So if you're gonna come and ask me for $100 because you want to open up your little company over there or some shit, no, fuck you. Like, why don't you come over here and work? So, I mean, I know it's not easy to come, but it's like literally there's people that are on there that can't say no. You know what I mean? They don't say no to their family because it's like, no, I wasn't raised like that, so I can't say no. But that is what you have. That's all you have for yourself and your spouse. And I mean, for me at least, I don't like that.
I don't mind it just because I was raised differently. Like, I was just more raised like in the aspect of if they needed help, people, that's just how it should be. You know what I'm saying?
No, my thing in that aspect, yes, you can help if they need it. But if they're calling you for the stupidest shit, talking about some,
for sure.
Oh, I want to go do this, I want to go on a trip. No, work for it.
Like, you seen those posts on Facebook? They be like la gente de tu país piensa que ganas tanto y más no saben que es renta, carro, gas, comida,
exactly. Like literally bills. From one paycheck, it's like
I probably have maybe like $50, $100
exactly
left.
And like even
and
those $50,
that's not counting food.
And then those $50 is for you to eat and to put gas in your fucking car.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like people over here living paycheck to paycheck, and it's just like,
and people really think that it's easy to make that money here.
Honestly, and that was a big issue in mine. And then also like the first couple of years, guys, but I'm telling you, when I mean that my marriage was a mess, it was a fucking mess. I'm not gonna lie. I'm tired of sugarcoating shit. Like, I'm over it. The first couple of months, his family was really deep in our marriage. I mean, like he let them influence him a lot, and they influenced me a lot in the aspect of I felt like I wasn't living up to my potential, when in reality I was too much of a woman.
You were too much.
And I let that get to me. I really did. You guys, I mean, I'm a big woman in general, but I gained hella weight.
Yeah.
This is going into a whole other topic. I gained weight because I have polycystic ovaries, which means, and instead of,
it's easier for you to actually gain more weight, isn't it?
Yeah, and even on top of that, like, I can't have kids because I mean, I can, but I would have to go through medication, which is our next topic. Being a woman, like I said, this is just our things. In a Hispanic relationship, they automatically want you to be popping kids left and right.
Sis, no.
And and I was pressured into that shit. Like, Hispanics are really good at making you feel less of a woman just because you don't want kids. Exactly. Or just because you can't have kids. Like, it's your fault. Like, you told your body, hey, have fucking cysts in your fucking ovaries, don't have kids.
Jesus. See, that's what I don't get, because me personally, that's a personal decision, especially with you and your spouse.
Yeah, I genuinely don't. I mean, I vibe with kids, but I'm not trying to keep one in my house every fucking day. Like,
yeah, sis will choke him out. It's like, no.
Yeah, I fucking look. I'm babysitting. You want me to babysit your kid? Pull them over. But I personally, I'm not trying to give up my life. I already gave my life up for 5 years. I'm not gonna do it again.
I mean, having kids is not for everybody. You know, not everybody wants to have a child.
I know you.
I mean, I would like to have a child, but obviously I have my issues as well. I don't have polycystic ovaries, but I do have a benign tumor in my head. Literally about to go fucking blind.
Yeah. You also have a stable marriage as well. I mean, like, stable economically, emotionally, that you guys understand each other, and there's no one wanting something that the other one doesn't.
Exactly. Like, and that's a conversation to be had. Because even, I mean, like I said, we haven't been together for that long, but we have the understanding that we do want to have a child.
Yeah.
But obviously, right now, we have to work up to getting our house, and that's a big thing that we want to achieve.
It's a bigger step.
It is a bigger step. But obviously, it's, at least for me, right? In my thinking, my opinion, I moved all over the place, you know, every single year, and I would go to different schools and be the new girl every other year, and it wasn't stable. You know what I mean? It's not stable, and I wouldn't want to bring a child in when I know that next year I have to move, next year I have to get this ready. Like, no, I don't want that for my child. You know what I mean?
It makes sense because kids need stability to grow up stable.
Exactly, because sis is not stable over here. This bitch, I'm all over the place.
I'm a fucking mess too, dog. I feel you on that one.
But it's like that's
there.
What I'm
We're
saying.
getting there.
Everybody has a different way of viewing things. You know what I mean? And like, I don't think not wanting to have a child makes you less of a woman. It's
all.
It's actually, it makes you more of a woman because you actually can say, no, I don't want to have a child.
Because you're standing up for, which is sad, the fact that you have to stand up to people that have nothing to do with your marriage.
Exactly. And it's not them taking care of your child anyways.
Yeah.
And my thing is, as soon as they see someone on the news that had done something to a child, knowing they didn't want to have a child and they still had it anyways, and then they leave their husband and they don't know what to do with their child, then they're like, oh, she's a bad mom. But why? Like, why? You're sitting here literally making people think, oh, I have to get married, I have to have a child, and I have to just do what everybody else is doing because that's the normal.
Which is no.
And it's wrong.
I know in my marriage, he never pressured me into having a kid. People around me were like, why don't you just give him a kid? Porque no le das un hijo?
A child does not make anything better.
It does. It really doesn't. It really, like...
And who suffers is the child.
Yeah, because can you imagine, I would have had a whole, 3-year-old, 4-year-old?
Yeah.
And first of all, I want to be able to go fucking party because, you know, ay, mira, la salió. She went out to the club. Where's her son? Where's her kid? And guys, I'm not going to lie. I fucking do that.
We'd be like, best friend love. Damn, where's her kid? Who's taking care of her child?
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, this is a 100 keeping it real podcast.
Exactly.
But you know who I do that to? The bitches that go every desde el viernes hasta domingo están en la disco.
See, I don't like to talk shit about moms, especially when they're hardworking, they provide for their kids.
For sure.
They're always with their kids. And then, you know, sometimes moms do need a fucking break. Like, it's just like that. But since fucking Hispanics, not all Hispanics, I'm sorry guys, but the ones that have that type of mentality, they have to be with their kids. They cannot have any type of fun. It's like you have to be this, you literally have to be
mom.
50. Your mind has to be like a 50-year-old, even though your body's a 20-year-old with a child.
Listen, my fucking kneecaps are 60, dog.
Bitch.
Like my kneecap and my fucking back is on 100 all the time.
But it's
like,
just sad.
It's a lot. And like you said, a kid is not something to joke around with. Like, you can't just be like, oh, my marriage is in fucking shambles, let me pop out a whole fucking human.
Says you can't return a child.
You can't. And if you do, you're trash, dog.
Exactly. Ooh, I was watching this girl, man, especially, I'm not even gonna get started. I was watching YouTube and I saw this lady adopt this child, and
yeah, that blonde lady.
Yeah, and I was just like, that's crazy.
Guys, like I said, this podcast is gonna be all over the place. She has said that they knew that he was sick.
She wanted a sick child,
but because she's a YouTuber, huh?
Yeah.
And
she wanted the clout.
She wanted the big clout.
Yeah.
And then when she found out that he was he had like Down syndrome, I believe, or something like that.
He was autistic.
Which fucking pisses me off, first of all, because also people like that piss me off. Like you act like the kid wanted to come out sick. It's ridiculous. It's just a mess.
But anyways, let's not steer away from the actual conversation.
So I know that my ex-husband didn't have any kids. Does yours has two kids, correct?
Mine has 2 kids.
How old are they?
Just keep in mind, I am in an age gap relationship.
Yeah,
right?
what's the age gap?
So I'm 22 this coming year.
Yes.
I'm not ready to share that. Just say it's 10 years.
Okay.
And his kids, the little, well, it's not a little girl because she's grown. She's 16. Yeah, she's 16, and then the boy is 14 years old.
And they're not here, right?
No.
When I say they're not here, as in they're not in the
No,
United States.
they're in Honduras.
Honduras.
Yeah.
How's that? Are you guys like? Is that relationship? How is being a stepmom?
Well,
technically not because you don't.
Yeah. See, I interact with them not as much as I guess I should, or what people think.
What people think, correct.
Mind you, I'm 21, almost 22 years old, right?
And these are grown kids.
And these are grown kids. It would be different if it was like a 2-year-old, because you
need more involvement.
Yeah,
that way.
It's way easier to actually be involved with the child that's small than it is when
they can actually hold a conversation
exactly.
with you, because then it's like they're old. They don't want to talk to old people. Well, I mean, you're not old, but
no, but it's more like they look at me and they're like, "Dang, my dad got with someone that's like literally 5 years difference of my age." Yeah. So it's just like, to them it's kind of a shock, and 2, it's just like, oh, that's my dad's wife. Yeah. And damn.
And then they're just
old. Like, they're just grown, and it's just like,
they have their own shit to do.
Exactly.
Besides sitting here trying to get along with you.
Exactly. And my thing is,
well, not that it's hard or anything.
Yeah. I mean, we're not in the same country, obviously. When I do talk to them, it's a hi-bye conversation.
For sure.
So there's nothing that deep. I mean, it's pretty for what I thought it would have been.
Wow. How rude, huh?
Wow.
Hold on, y'all.
Wow.
Hello, sorry about that, guys. How unprofessional of me. I had my phone on noise.
I know, sis.
I know, it's my mother.
First thing you do when you start the podcast is turn off your fucking phone.
Bitch, you always have your phone on fucking mute. That's why you don't have to remember or forget.
No, actually, I do have my phone on. Actually.
Entonces no me contestas porque no querés. When I call you.
No, you catch me at the wrong time.
Whatever, bitch. Anywho, what were we talking about before I got really cut off by my mother?
We were talking about my step kids.
Oh yeah, I know for I hated my fucking stepmom, dog. I fucking hated that bitch.
See, and that's my fear right there, and right there, right?
Yeah, but you ain't gonna do half the shit my stepmom did.
Well, I know, right? But the thing is, like, because they're grown, they understand more. You know what I mean? And it's just like,
it should be easier though.
I mean, it should.
Unless they come here being like, fuck you.
Yeah.
But then just stay out their way.
Yeah. See, yeah.
See, my stepmom brought a whole fucking wolf pack. She brought fucking 4 kids over here.
That's a lot.
They were trash. They're still trash. Hoodlums, hooligans.
Trashy.
That's ridiculous. Have you ever had like what's it called? A moment in your marriage where you're kind of just like, fuck, I'm married.
Yeah. You know, bro, I'd be like, you know, because like I was so used to like coming home from work, I'm out, you know, I would go anywhere, I would do whatever, and like now it's just like
you have to take someone else into consideration.
Like, dang, dog, like I really gotta go talk to this dude and be like, hey, I'm gonna go do this, or hey, we gotta go do something else, and then he'll be like, but you gotta do this right now because this has to be done, and I'm just like, bro, like, who are you?
I'm your husband.
Like, you're my husband. So like I kind of have to catch myself sometimes, I guess.
Yeah, right. I remember those moments. Like I'd be like, oh fuck. But then again, like I said, our marriage were completely different, and that's why I feel like this podcast is gonna work, just because we have completely 2 different lives.
Yeah.
And the aspect of how we were raised and shit that we've been through.
Yeah.
Because I know for my marriage, it was more like, this man never took me out, and you know this.
Yeah.
Like I would have to ask him a month and a half in fucking advance. Be like, hey, don't go out this day.
Check your agenda.
Are you available? And the fact that he'd be like, yes, I'm available, but never take me anyway. It was torture, dog.
Oh my gosh.
It was a fucking mess. And then like that's why I feel like this would work out a lot, just because we have different perspectives on everything. You guys, we have I'm surprised we were fucking friends, dog.
For real.
We have...
You know, I want to choke her out sometimes, but I'm like, you know what? Sometimes it makes me think, you know, and rethink certain situations that I've been in. But then again, I don't give a fuck, so I'll just do it anyways.
Oof, yeah. Because I know this is where it's going to get deep, dog. Like, you guys, if you ain't ready for this, if you're emotionally unstable, don't listen.
Trigger warning.
Don't
trigger
listen.
warning.
Whatever bullet points here is, it's your body, it's your temple. What does that mean? I used to be into church, very, very into church. I mean, like, heavily into church, where I didn't even cuss, I didn't do anything, and here I am cussing and drinking like a fucking wild woman over here. Yo, for real. I went wild. But anywho, but even when I was into church, I was always, I'm gonna wait until marriage, which I did. I waited. Well, I wasn't married before we had.
But you found someone that
I knew I was gonna marry. Like, I knew I wanted to be with him for the rest of my. Well, I knew I wanted to be with the person he showed me that when we were dating, because the person that's
a whole other thing too. That
it really is. Look, mi mama, I'm gonna speak Spanish now. Mi mama siempre dice, los hombres te enseñan lo que tú quieres ver, y cuando ya te agarran, ahí es donde te remangan a pija. She doesn't say it like that, but that's just how I took it. Which is right, because I know my ex-husband showed me a wonderful man. There was little red flags that I knew I should have been like, oof, this man is not for me. But I didn't listen because I was head over heels. That's the worst part. Like, you don't see... I mean, like, you do see what's wrong in your marriage, but you're so into it that you're just like, fuck. Like, I can't. And I always knew that my body was a temple. Like, I'm not gonna lie, guys. Me daba unas arrimadas. That's about it. Like, just that.
She
was
just a little thotty back in the day.
Just, you know, just a little groping. You know what I'm saying? Nothing more, though. There was nothing more, just because I have always respected. That's just how I felt. I've always respected myself in that way. I know I'm not judging anybody else who does stuff, whatever they want to do. It's your body. Do what the fuck you want. But I know that with him, I knew I was going to get married to him. So I was like, I might as well just do it. I also, again, felt pressured. I 100% wasn't ready to do it, just because I was in a lot of sexual assaults and a lot of bad things when I was younger and as I grew up. So I just knew I wasn't mentally or physically ready to do it, but I just did it because pressured. Not by him, just by in general, or, you know, where you feel you're a teen and you're just like, wow, all my friends are doing it, I should do it. Which made no sense because I didn't have friends, so who the fuck was I looking up to? But I was just like, damn, okay. And then you have those Hispanics that tell you, well, here's your man, so if he wants it, you gotta give it to him.
See, that's not right.
I know, and that shit got into my head. So, like, I'll literally be just there and I don't want to do anything, but he wants to, and so I just be like, okay, let's do it. But it's one of those moments where, like, you feel hella dirty after, because you're like, oh, I didn't want to do this.
Yeah.
This doesn't feel right. And it's just like, it's traumatizing, dog, because I've been separated, like, mentally and emotionally. I clocked out like 2 years into my marriage. Yeah. 100%. You know that. I clocked out, like, completely clocked out. I was still loyal, though. Like, I never did anything with I think the closest thing that I ever did to, like, almost cheating was, like, answering a message, but then I felt disgusting, so I blocked whoever the fuck. And it was just like, they sent me hola, and then I was like, hola, and then I almost threw up of anxiety. So, oh my gosh. So I just blocked him.
So a question, right? Did you ever actually be vocal with him in that aspect?
I was. The thing in my marriage was that I was very vocal, because I'm just a vocal person. Anybody who knows me from high school, I was a fucking mess. I was going through a lot of shit, and I was never vocal about all that shit. Hence why I'm so fucking scarred for life. But I'm getting over it. But with him, it was more different, because I was, when I did meet him, I was getting, like, I could potentially say that I was really happy before meeting him. And then when I met him, it was like, he even made it extra happier, because I was just like, he was showing me someone who he wasn't in general. And then when we got together, that's where it was like, fuck, like, who the fuck is this man? And after all that stuff that was going on, I was like, look, it's my body. I like, you know my past, and it's pissing me off that you're making me feel like I'm in my past again. Yeah. And it was vocal, and he understood, and it was just like a thing. But like I said, I'm not here to dog on him. I'm not here to be like, it's all his fault. It is his fault. But no, I'm just kidding. Not to say it's his fault, because I don't know what he was going through emotionally in his head.
Yeah.
I'm not making excuses for him because whatever.
Because it could be that he was being peer pressured by other people.
Yeah,
like,
and
you know, that is your woman, so she has to do what you say.
Exactly.
And sadly, that's the mentality a lot of men have.
And that it's not an excuse because no man should fucking do that. Like, you shouldn't abuse anybody, any fucking woman, sexually or abusively anyway, regardless. And so that's, I just want to put that as a disclaimer. I'm not here to judge him. I'm not here to do anything. Everybody makes mistakes and everything.
Exactly.
And it was my body. It was me. I feel some type of way.
You're just sharing your experience.
Yeah.
And trying to help someone else.
Exactly. And it was just more of a, because I remember vividly, this one time I was crying to, I'm not going to expose who it is, but this one time I was crying to someone. And I was like, dog, he's doing all this shit to me. And I'm just... but this was before I was vocal to him, right? He was probably just like, oh, she's enjoying it, because I just never said anything.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know if like I'm being a bad woman. Like, that was in my mind. Like, I genuinely felt like I wasn't a good wife. I just genuinely felt like that because I felt like I was trash. Honestly, I'm not even gonna fucking lie. Like, I was depressed, really depressed. And so I was talking to this one girl. Well, she was a woman. She was older than me. And I was like, I don't know what to do. And she, without even hesitation, she's like, pues, he's your husband, so I mean, gotta do it. If you can open your legs back then, you can open it now. And I'm like, oh, you fucking right.
Wow.
And when she told me that, I was like, damn, okay. And it just stuck with me. So then I just continued until I finally got fucking therapy. And I was just like, this is wrong. Like,
yeah.
Essentially,
and even
it's rape.
if it's your husband, like, it's still abusing your body.
Yeah.
And I feel like as a husband, as someone that you trust to be with you, to take care of you, him knowing your past as well should be more careful with the stuff that he did.
Exactly.
Know? Or just in general, everybody. Like, you don't... I mean, there's people that like to share what happened in their past and, you know, what happened when they were a child or all that. But
I don't mind sharing my shit because I feel like it'll help other people understand that, listen, like, you're not alone.
Or maybe like there is someone, and hopefully people are going to listen to our podcast, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, they're going through the same thing in
their marriage or something.
In their marriage, and it's like,
if you are going through this, I'm telling you now, get out of it.
Yeah.
Regardless, like, if
I don't care if it's your husband, I don't care, your boyfriend, it's not right.
Listen, and if you, I know for a long time I was in my marriage because I just was not economically stable, but trust me, it's not worth it. Like,
it's really not.
It's really not worth it at all. And just get out of it, dog. Like, there's really no other excuse. Like, or if you have kids, that's not an excuse either.
It's not.
I'd rather be suffering hunger with my kids than having them be in a whole abusive family. Like,
because my thing as well, right? Like, these kids are watching their parents
bicker and fight all
and literally
the time.
We are what we see. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, these kids get scarred. They're like, okay, my dad does this, then I'm gonna do it. Especially for boys, right? If like a girl sees that the dad is hurting the mom, she's gonna be like, oh, I have to take it because my mom took it, and that's just what a woman does. No, you're supposed to be an example for your child, and show them, no, even though that happened, I got out of it. You shouldn't go through that.
Exactly. And that was one of my thinkings, like, since just put it, like I said, guys, this is getting deep. I've been sexually assaulted and molested since I was like 6 years old, and it didn't stop until I was almost like 18, and it was by multiple people. And so when I did get married, it kind of just, I was just like, I had already got the courage to be like, no, this isn't right, stop, like, don't, like, anything. And then when I did get married, then it got to be like, oh, well, you're his wife, so you kind of have to do it.
It's a different way of mentally fucking you, basically.
Yeah, like, really fucking with your life.
Yeah.
And that, women, girls, you're worth it. Don't let these motherfuckers chop you up like that, dog.
Exactly.
Chop them up. Fucking beat the shit out of them. No, I'm just kidding.
Don't you be violent now.
Unless they violent with you. Knock some teeth. I always say, if a man ever hits me, best believe I'm gonna hit him once at least.
Yo, you better go out fucking just throwing punches, bro. I don't give a fuck you leave my tooth, bro, bitch. I'm out of here in like
just know that I get one punch in. Just for sure. As long as I knock your nose or something.
At least if I see a fucking scratch on you, I'm straight.
I'm straight.
At least I know I left in a good standing. Bitch, exactly. I don't give a fuck.
Exactly. But yeah, that's, your body is your temple, you guys. Always remember that. Regardless what status you're in, your body is your temple.
And you can always say no, even though it's someone like your husband.
And this is a whole other topic. Like, it doesn't even have to do with marriage. If you are going through anything of sexually abusive or anything, speak up. Speak up. I know nowadays no one believes you, because I know that when I spoke up, I was told that it was my fault.
Yeah.
And it just continued regardless. And speak up, because someone's going to hear you.
Yeah.
Tell everybody.
Friend,
tell anybody
you can.
But make sure they're your friends.
I mean, yeah. I mean, but sometimes, you know, even if you do tell a stranger, 9 times
they'll
out of
help
10,
you more than anything.
Exactly, because it's like you have friends they don't believe in shit like that, especially when you're married, you know, or in general as well, if you have a boyfriend, or someone that they've never seen anything weird about, you know. They'll be like, oh no, I don't think so. So they'll just brush it off as in, oh, you're just being dramatic, you know. So it's like, I feel like a stranger will help you even more, because they don't know what's going on
exactly
around the world.
And then even then, I know this sounds stereotypical and whatnot, but if you are going to tell someone, make sure it's a white person. I'm gonna be honest, like, regardless, not trying to like, not trying to say anything,
because
but
like Hispanics really don't believe in that crap.
Like they'll make you tell all your family what that person did to you, what was going on, and who it was,
but
and
they
then
won't report it or actually do something about it.
And then next to know, you're at the next cookout and that person's still there. So then it's like they embarrass you and they make you feel like you were wrong and that everything was wrong.
And they still accept the man that did that to you.
Exactly.
Or it could be a woman as well, guys. It's not always a man.
Bitch, you know. Both ways. Could be anything. Boys experience this shit too.
Exactly.
Like, it's not just women.
Exactly. It's everybody.
And that shit, that's bringing it back to marriage. Like I said, we all over the place. That will fuck you up when you get married with someone. Like I said, like, it fucked me. Like, I didn't know right from wrong. I mean, I did, but it was more like I was just so into, like, I gotta make my marriage perfect. You know what I'm saying? And it was just a mess, dog. Like,
because it's hard going from having a really rough situation when you were a child and all your relationship with people, you know, and then going into a marriage and then having to either explain to them what happened and then try to explain your issues from that trauma.
Because Hispanics also don't. I'm not saying all Hispanics. Like I said, this is just us. A lot of Hispanics don't believe in mental issues whatsoever. They don't. Like, tú vienes y le dices a alguien, oh, estoy deprimida. I'll be like, ugh, you're just a niña rebelde. You're just da da da. I know dramatic. For a while, that's why none of my family liked me, because I was a mess. I'm not gonna lie, I was fucking mess in high school. That's why I didn't have any friends. But it's just like, like I said, you can't. O sea, you only see what's on the outside, you don't see what's on the inside. You know what I'm saying? Like, no one in my high school would be like, oh, she's getting molested or some shit happened to her. Like, no one would think that. They'd just be like, oh, she's a bitch. Yeah, she's not going through shit. But you know what I'm saying?
See, there's people,
and that shit fucks you up in your marriage, because now I'm just like, since I was so worried about what other people thought, I was worried about what people thought about my marriage. So then instead of like that's one of my biggest issues in my ex-husband's marriage, was that I was trying so hard to be someone that I wasn't, just to please him and his family. Yeah. Which his family is fucking trash. But not all his family, just that specific little fucking group that I hate.
That little bunch is trash. Freaking trash. And that's not right. I feel like as family, you shouldn't butt into people's life. Like, I don't give a...
Do you experience that with his family?
See, with his family, no. They really don't butt in our lives in that aspect or anything.
Because he kind of was just like, shut the fuck up.
Because he's the type of person, like, first of all, being in an age gap relationship is kind of hard, because they're probably like, you know, hey, you know, she's coming for your money. It's not like he has big money, but like, he has money.
It's not even the age gap, because my ex-husband was, what, a year older than me? Yeah, I'm 23, he's 24. And they still said I was taking his money. I was like, what money? Like, y'all really think you have money? Like, what money am I taking from him? The fucking $1.25 that was left over after we paid all our bills?
Exactly.
Like, explain.
But I mean, I personally haven't had an issue with his family at all, actually. They're actually very nice to me.
How about your family?
Mostly me. As for my family was freaking trash at the beginning. I'm not gonna lie, just for the aspect that one, the age gap. 2, his past, you know, was a big thing in our relationship. Well, you know, a single man will do single things. And multiple things, multiple women. But I'm no one to judge, you know what I mean? Like, I've done my things and he's done his own. So I'm not gonna actually sit here and judge him off of that, you know.
Yeah,
but my family
it's
were
like,
very quick
you
to do
can't-
that.
I mean, if you want to marry someone who's never had a past, that's your business. Go ahead.
Exactly. My thing is like no one will do that unless you find out of the cut someone that has never done anything or absolutely nothing. But
because even me, I never had any, like, at least wanted.
Oh my god,
that was a joke. Sorry.
Yo, I hate when she does that.
Let me stop. I never had any intercourse until I met my ex-husband, and even then, I still, like I said, I was like groping and shit. But like, there's always one thing. I mean, there is that like, niña santita que nunca han hecho nada, which good for you, dog. Good for you for not doing your temptations, dog.
Holding off, man.
Yeah, but it's still like
exactly.
Like, what do you expect? Like, the important part is that nothing happens after y'all got together.
Exactly.
That's the important part.
And see, the saddest part is that my family was they were so caught up in his past that they're like, you know what, he's gonna come and do the same thing to you. And I'm not gonna tell you that I thought that I was gonna get married to him, because I didn't. Nowhere in a million years did I think that I was gonna marry him at all, you know.
I was blown when you told me, huh?
Yeah.
I was like, you dumb bitch.
Yo.
It was gonna be a hot girl summer, dog. Just kidding. Go
ahead. But yeah, like my mom was kind of like in las nubes, you know, like in the clouds, because she didn't know. I really didn't present him to anybody.
I don't think everybody knew you guys were even dating.
Exactly. Nobody knew we were dating for a good amount of time.
Just because of
because I was scared, you know what I mean? I've never been in an age gap relationship this big. You know what I mean? Like, I've gone out with guys that are like, what, 2, 3, 4 years older than me, but never this amount of years. So it was kind of like, it's scary, one. I don't know what people are gonna say, two. Yeah, and as in people, I mean my family. You know, I really don't give a fuck about everybody else.
See, and that's what I'm telling you. Like, our friendship is so different, because at one point I cared so much what people thought. Like, it would dictate my life.
Yeah, so
much.
See, my thing was that,
but people had a lot to say about your marriage. Like,
oh yeah.
I mean, the thing is, if you live in Springfield, you know, Springfield, Virginia, everybody fucking knows you.
Exactly. It's like a small town, you know, where everybody's like, you know, his brother, and his brother knows you, and then his cousin from over there knows you because of him, and it's just like
if you trip in Springfield, everybody fucking knows you tripped,
girl.
If you busted your ass, everybody knows you busted your ass.
You got caught up, everybody knows you got caught up.
So then when you're in a relationship with someone from Springfield, it's like todos. I mean, everybody fucking knows.
Exactly.
You might even forget that you're in a relationship, and that day they'd be like, "Oh, you're dating this person." You're like, "Oh, damn, I am."
Yeah,
you're fucking right.
For real. Like, I'm like, I forgot I totally say yes to that guy. I don't remember.
See, I was just lucky in the aspect that no one fucking knew who I was.
For real, bro.
No one fucking knew him other than his family, though.
Yeah. See, in that aspect, like, he's someone that a lot of people know. You know, him and
everybody
his brothers
basically knows him.
Yeah, everybody in his brothers. But see, my thing was, like I said, my mom was in the clouds. She didn't know what was going on or who he was.
But even when she did,
and
she
then
was
when
like, it's your life.
Yeah, when she found out who he was, she finally saw who he was. She was like, oh, okay, like, whatever, like, do what you're gonna do. Like, at the end of the day, it's your decision what you want to do with your life, right? And then people just started lurking and seeing who he was, and, like, you know, other people that have no freaking signification in my life, or that you know, actually add to my life, just making stupid remarks about him. And, like, I don't care. I mean, he's old. I can see it in his face that he's old. Don't you tell me nothing. Like, but that's my decision to make if I want to be with someone old. If I don't want to be with him when he's all wrinkly, that's up to me, not to you. You're not the one sleeping with him. You know what I mean? You're not the one dealing with him. It's me. So, I mean, it was pretty hard at the beginning. But
do you get along with his siblings?
Yeah, his brothers are really nice. His sisters too. I mean, his family's they're very nice people. Yeah. Like,
he's a very nice guy.
Yeah.
Well,
when he's not drinking.
Oh no. Well, I was talking about that. I mean, like, when you pass that boundary of him actually knowing you, he is fantastic.
Yeah. Like, at first, when you first meet him, it's kind of like, hi.
Yeah, like
hey, what are you doing?
But I feel like there's just a lot of people like that.
Yeah,
because I'm definitely like that. It's
exactly.
Like, it depends what kind of vibe
you just gotta warm up to people. You know what I mean? And for him, once he's warmed up with you, it's just like,
damn, you can't get him to stop talking.
It's like, shut up, dude. Like I have to tell him to shut up.
For sure gonna piss your pants.
And he's freaking hilarious, but sometimes it's like, you need to shut up. You talk too much. But he's just they're very nice people, and I've never had an issue with them at all. That's one
I get along. I got along with my ex's sister, his little sister. I mean, he has two sisters, but the one of them is in El Salvador, so I didn't really communicate with her. But the one who's here, she's fantastic.
See, there's always like one person at least in the family.
His older brother. That's a whole other story, though. Don't even want to go there.
Boop, 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 boop. Moving along.
Moving along. Da-da-da-da.
Not touch that.
So, just in general, just a little recap. So, you've been married for, what'd you say?
6 months.
6 months, been in a relationship for 2 years.
Yeah.
I was married, going to be 4 years, and would have been in a relationship for 5 years. And you can tell that there's 100, no matter how long it is, there's like 100% difference in everything.
Yeah.
And just like I said, just to recap, guys, just remember, guys and girls, because guys be pressured to be having kids too. They be like, ¿cuándo le vas a pagar un hijo? Like if it's a fucking profession. Like if these people don't understand that the economy is some bullshit, dog.
Yeah.
Just, you guys need to remember, it's your body. You say what goes in and out your body. Literally anything.
It's your decision to make, especially with your spouse, you know. It's basically you and your spouse against the fucking world.
Yes.
It's nobody else's business what goes on in your relationship. Unless it directly affects them, which I don't think so.
Which it shouldn't, because if there's something that something that is a decision in your marriage and it directly affects someone else, then maybe you need to rethink your marriage and be like, why does it affect that person?
Exactly.
Why are they so in your marriage? Unless it's your kid. But
well, yeah, obviously.
Your kid gotta be in it.
Obviously.
That's a lot. Is there any advice that you would like to give to anybody?
I would say just not to listen to people around you, even though it's hard, you know what I mean? It's super hard to just kind of like block everybody else, because it's like your family's a big thing in your life.
Big.
And when other people,
especially when you live with them.
Exactly. So it's just like, it's hard, but you're gonna have to do it, because then again, you will never be happy in your life, you know, because there was a point where me and my husband weren't about to be wife and husband. Like, we weren't.
Wifeful and wifey.
Wifey and wifeful. But we weren't, because he was fed up with the amount of shit people talked about him.
Yeah.
And
it's
it was
a lot.
unnecessary.
It might not even be you guys in general, like you guys having a thing or a moment. It's more like, fuck, like all these people really be talking all this shit about me.
Exactly, because then you start second guessing, you know what I mean?
You start sitting there like, am I a good person? Am I a good wife? Am I a good wifo? Am I a good husband? Like, you start thinking all that shit.
Exactly, and then it's like, then that affects directly, affects him or her, whatever.
Yeah.
And then that it doesn't work out, and then that's when people either decide to walk away or stay.
Yeah.
You know, I'm happy he decided to stay, even though he was really trashy at the time. He was trying to come at me, and I was just like, bro, like, just chill. Like, we'll get through it. You know what I mean? And I learned over the time that I've been with him that I need to zone that out. Even though sometimes it pisses me off and I just want to like fucking scream at everybody, but at the same time, I'm like, what do I win with screaming at them when I know that's their opinion?
That also helps a lot that I went through that. Because I know there was moments where you were just like, I don't understand why he's getting so frustrated. And then I would give you my point of view when when my ex's family was coming at me. And I'd be like, it's frustrating. Yeah. It's really frustrating, because then you're just like, damn, I'm just not worth it. And that's probably how the other person feels as well.
Exactly.
I think one advice, this is my biggest advice. I get that you love someone and that you love them so much you want to get married, but always, and I mean always, love yourself more than the other person.
Yes.
I think the only person that you need to love more than yourself is your child. Someone that you have birthed, someone that you adopted, someone that you just picked up, that you consider your child. That's the only person that you need to love more than yourself. Exactly. Because they didn't ask to come into this world. You birthed them. Now the person that you're with, you wanted to be with them. Exactly. That was your choice. but you also need to love yourself more than them, because then when you do love yourself, you'll notice when shit's going down. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You'll notice when
it's time to go.
When it's time to go, and you won't be stuck in there for years, aka me, for years, because you'll know what you're worth and you'll know what it is. And women, don't be scared to tell guys, look, I like to get stuff. I like to be treated this way, that way, this way.
Exactly.
Because if you don't tell someone, how the fuck are they gonna know?
Exactly.
Like, how are they gonna know? And that's where you need to pay attention to who you're with. When you tell them what you don't and do like, and they don't change, that's when you know they ain't ever gonna change. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you guys that right now. 4 or 5 years in experience. Un hombre, a man, a woman aren't ever gonna change if it's been 4 or 5 years you guys been together.
I feel like people just, because
I'm not saying that people can't change, because I changed. You can change a lot. I know I changed when I got married. I even stopped going out with you sometimes. Like, I was just like, nah, because he was like, where you going? And I'd be like, well, the fuck, I'm going this way. And it was just like, just to not fight. But it's like, if that's what I'm saying. Like, if that causes a fight in your marriage or an argument, then you're in the wrong marriage, homie. Like,
in the wrong marriage.
The fuck out that bitch. The fuck out that bitch. Like, go, leave,
run. Like those TikToks. Run.
Exactly.
Nah, for real though. No, that you just gotta walk away sometimes. Sadly, like, especially when you love someone so much, it's hard.
It's really hard.
And I saw you go through it. You know what I mean?
It was a lot. I'm
so
still
like, you're still going through it,
but it's not like, the difference now is that I've seen my worth.
Yeah.
And I know how much more I'm worth, and I know that it wasn't me. Like, I know there was moments where it was me at one point, but it was like, I know that it's not because I failed. I know it wasn't because I wasn't trying, because I gave it, like I said, I clocked out maybe a year and a half into our marriage, and I still tried, even though I clocked out emotionally, and like, it was just, you know what I'm saying? And I just, now the only hard part is getting used to not having someone to be all like, you guys, I have a lot of voices, and I do a lot of baby voices. And
a lot of baby voices.
That's the hardest part, getting over not having someone there.
Yeah, because you're so used to being with someone.
It was fucking 5 years, dog.
Exactly.
Like, it was a lot.
I mean, it's hard, and like I said, it's gonna be hard, because I've seen her go through it. But at the end of the day, seeing her flourish the way she's been flourishing,
I'm glowing.
It's like, girl, like, sis is having the time of her fucking life, and I can see it, and I'm very glad.
I'm over here talking to Juicy Man and stuff.
Like, I'm kind of salty because now I'm married, and like,
bitch, don't it?
And now it's like everybody's having fun. Nobody cares.
You're having fun, dog.
I'm having fun. I'm having a lot of fun, but still, like, I miss those days, bruh. Where was everybody when I was single? I mean, I'm marriage.
I know there's gonna be one person that for sure told me that they're gonna listen to this, but I'm just letting you guys know I was kind of a little friend zoned a couple days ago.
Yeah, you were fucking trash. Just putting it out there.
Just putting it. You know who you are, but you kind of friend zoned me. But now he wants me back. He wants this juicy.
Well, he better work for it, because I don't know who he think he is. Get your shit straight, my friend.
Get it together, homie G.
I would say your name, but I don't want to single you out.
Don't say it yet. He knows who he is. But yes, we're gonna clock out because we gotta go do some shit.
Yeah, so thank you guys.
This was very fun.
It was.
I really enjoyed this. Now, for all the topics that we've spoken about today, if you are going to listen, which we would greatly much appreciate it, we'll be posting on all our social media. Please follow us on Instagram and Facebook. I don't have Twitter. Do you have Twitter?
Yeah, but I don't use it. So
follow
me on Twitter.
Just follow Facebook. Well, if you guys still use Facebook, I'd be on that bitch all day, every day.
Oh, I like sharing those memes. Yeah, I'd be fucking dying.
Just follow us on that. My Facebook is Nancy Salazar Pineda, and my Instagram is _Nancy_DSP_.
And mine is, my Facebook is Michelle Guevara, and then my Instagram is _it's Michelle G_.
Beautiful. Yay. And if there's anything that you guys want us to go more in depth, I am an open book, of course. I don't know what Michelle is comfortable speaking about.
I'm an open book. I mean, there's Yeah, I mean, I'm down to talk about everything.
And remember that we have different perspectives on everything. If there's a specific topic that you guys want us, regardless if we didn't even talk about it today about marriage or anything, but we were kind of all over the place. Again, remember, first podcast. And we're just kind of letting shit flow. Like, this is just for us to speak.
And you guys can totally like give us feedback and how you.
If you guys want to tell us we fucking suck, you tell us. I don't give a fuck. You can fucking tell me I suck. I don't go.
But you can also be nice, because I like when people are nice. You know, old friends and shit.
But yeah. So if you guys liked anything, or if you want us to go more in depth in a topic or anything that came up from our bullet points for marriage, please let us know. We'll talk about it. Or if you guys want us to talk about anything else in general
as well.
Like I said, I am an open book. I don't mind talking about my experiences, which is a lot. A lot. And again, just thank you for listening to our podcast.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. And I hope you guys do tune in to the next podcast, which I hope is very soon as well.
Our next podcast, honestly, I'm just being realistic. I don't think people are going to tell us what to talk about, but I'm pretty sure it's probably going to be something about like the pandemic, how's it going, or something.
Yeah.
Or if someone does tell us something, then it might be whatever they say, and we will shout you out if you want to. If you don't, we won't.
Yeah, you know, we're kind of small. I don't think people would want us to actually say their fucking names.
Yeah, because like I said, you think it, you feel it, we say
fucking
it.
Say it.
We fucking say it, you dumb cunt.
Yo, I've been saying that shit for the longest. Oh my God.
I'm sorry. A lot of people don't like that word. I'm so sorry. Actually, no. This is our podcast.
Fuck that.
Oh, well. Anywho. All right. We are cutting out. Thank you for watching. Damn,
for
YouTube.
Listening.
Am I on YouTube? Thank you for listening to You Think It, You Feel It.
We say it.